A pair of undefeated teams, including the Salpointe Lancers, coming up from the Old Pueblo in Tucson, Arizona, to take on the 3-0 Gilbert Tigers. Arizona Lacrosse League action is next. APN Sports welcomes you in to Gilbert Christian School. We're in Gilbert, Arizona. It's our Encore Gamecast presented by the Arizona Lacrosse League. The 2-0 Lancers taking on the undefeated 3-0 Gilbert Tigers. I'm Jeff Lowry with APN Sports. Frankie Armenta, he's done a great job, took over the program a couple of years ago. In fact, the year before he took over, they had won just 2 games, but since then, 14-5. Last year, they were 11-4 in conference play, 19-4 overall. And they feature one of the top senior attackmen in the state in Andre Morrow, number 10. There's a look at senior goalie A.L.L. He leads 4 seniors on this defense for Gilbert. On the other side, Kevin Krieger has done a great job at Salpointe. Both these coaches, in fact, are both Tucson products, and I had a chance to talk to Coach Krieger before tonight's contest.
One of the things that we're really committed to is something that I like to call a varsity program. So it's a total commitment to the student athlete. So we work hand in hand with our athletic department and our administration at Salpointe to create as close to a varsity program as we can possibly create. So that means everything from academics to we're starting a weightlifting initiative, we're starting some, looking at some fall ball initiatives, things like that to keep sticks in kids' hands. One of the challenges that we face all the time with Salpointe is that with the student body as small as we have, multi-sport athletes are an absolute must. So we do a lot of head coaches networking to make sure that athletes who want to participate in multiple sports always have that option in Genia.
Well, Salpointe very young on offense. They're led by a freshman at attack, Teddy Sullivan, number 17, off to a very good start among the team leaders in points and goals scored this year. And Chase Tornquist, a sophomore, very elusive. Lehigh College is looking at him already, and they're hoping to have a big season. So it's Salpointe, it's Gilbert. We'll have all the exciting play-by-play coming up here on APN Video Sports. Reserve your next sporting event today with APN Video Sports. Call 623-936-5585 or go to our website at apnvideo.com. Our athlete recruitment films have paved the way to over $35 million in scholarship offers. Call APN today to reserve your customized athlete recruitment film. Welcome back to Gilbert Christian School. We're getting set for the opening face-off here. The two teams meeting. You see the starting lineups. Tigers led by 15, Gavin Christ. And a reminder, our next Encore Gamecast will be Thursday's game. Brophy at Chaparral. Go to the ArizonaLacrosseLeague.com website. Probably be first posted at apnvideo.com on Friday. So it'll be Brophy, Chaparral. You don't want to miss it. Our next A.L.L. Encore Gamecast. So we're getting set to go. The 2 goalies, Nick Lyons for Salpointe. We mentioned A.L.L, who has saved 70% of the shots on goal this year. And the opening face-off, no one's going to control this one. And now eventually it's Gilbert into their offensive half, and we are underway from Gilbert, Arizona. 72 degrees, a very pleasant, windless evening here in the East Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona area. As we mentioned, Gilbert 3-0 led by Frankie Armenta. It's a team that took Chaparral to overtime, almost won that game. They are coming off a season in which they will lose 12 starters, but this is a program in the right hands. Frankie Armenta, a longtime Tucson player, actually went to the U of A, played actually coached at Sabino. A young guy, as a good job there by A.L.L, and we're scoreless here in the first quarter. And there's a lot of connections here. Kevin Krieger, the head coach of Salpointe, one of his JV coaches actually coached Frankie Armenta, and Kevin, too, of course, from the Tucson area. No score, first quarter action, and a shot on goal, and that one was denied nicely by Nick Lyons. So they'll preserve the scoreless tie here in the first quarter of play. Play 4 12-minute quarters. Gilbert comes in with a record. They're in the white uniforms. And they're going to take another shot here, and that again denied. Outstanding job by Nick Lyons. So he's had two very impressive saves already in this one. And a hustle play. This is going to be Salpointe's ball as they'll bring it across the halfway mark. 0-0 tie, first quarter action. Zach Herndon, midfielder, getting the start here today. Talking to Coach Kevin before the game, he says one of the things they really got to do is they got to improve the defense, and really if they're going to compete, as this shot is going to be denied by Alec of the Gilbert Tigers to preserve a scoreless game. An outstanding job. Like I said, he has saved 70%, but they're going to have to get a better play from their goalie, Nick Lyons. He's an outstanding goalkeeper, but he's going to have to play better if they're going to compete with the Gilberts and the Brophies. And on the other end, the first goal of the game belongs to Zach Herndon as he pulls the trigger with a big right, and Salpointe leads it 1-0. That comes at the 9:28 mark, and already a Gilbert timeout as Frankie Armenta didn't like what he saw. The Lax power standings going into today's game, they have Desert Vista number 1 with Brophy, the two-time defending champions, number 2. Sabino is actually ranked 3rd right now with Mountain Point, Notre Dame 4 and 5. And then you got Gilbert at number 6 and Salpointe at number 9. First quarter action, a 1-0 lead for the Salpointe Lancers. Jeff Lowry, APN Video Sports. Our website is apnvideo.com. Nice ground ball by one of the guys that will be handling some of the face-offs here today, Rustin Crawford, who's had a big season, 15 ground balls already. A 1-0 lead as Herndon scores at the 9:28 mark for Salpointe. They got the early lead, but Gilbert trying to equalize as they attack the offensive half. And another one, Luke Arnett. He's another very skilled player, midfielder. And he is only a sophomore, but he is going to be one of those players very active for Frankie Armenta in this game. Well, a high pass sailed over his head, unable to corral it, and it goes out of play. And it'll be Salpointe's possession here as we are approaching the 8-minute mark here in quarter number 1. And the Lancers of Tucson, the Salpointe Lancers, 09 Division II state champions. They lead it 1-0 here on APM Video Sports. And here's an unforced turnover, and will Gilbert be able to pick it up? They rake it across into their offensive half, and it's going to be picked up there by Shane Kronhart, who plays on the Stars national team. And now we're going to get a stop and play and an infraction against Salpointe. Gilbert trying to tie this thing up as we approach the 8-minute mark here in quarter number 1 with Salpointe leading it 1-0. Herndon scoring on a nice play. Boy, that was an outstanding job there by Jacob Hall, the senior long stick midfielder. That's a very difficult pass to corral, and he did it, made it look pretty easy. So Gilbert trailing 1-0. They'll work the left of the crease area. They've got so many weapons on offense, and pulling the trigger and finding the promised land is Luke Arnett on an assist from Bryson Palmer. Palmer, his 7th assist of the season. And Luke Arnett finds the back of the cage, and that ties the game up at 1 apiece. I'll tell you, I think when you look at this, at least on paper, you get the feeling this is going to be a pretty close game. Gilbert is off to a sensational start. They have had victories over Horizon, over both Brophy and Desert Vista's number 2 squads, or their varsity B, whatever you want to call it. And they have outscored their opponents this season 46-8 coming in. That's the Gilbert Tigers in the white uniforms moving left to right. Salpointe in the dark, almost ASU-like uniforms, with the burgundy lettering and the yellow trim. Moving from right to left. Jacob Hundley had it there for a minute, number 20, 17. Sullivan, we featured in the top of the broadcast. We're in the first quarter, a 1-1 tie. Salpointe trying to strike again. Oh, they got a great look there. Enough space and time to unload that shot with Sullivan, and he hit the pipe on the left side. And now the loose ball is picked up. Good job there by Trevin Martins, one of the senior long stick midfield defenders. And here comes the Gilbert Tigers, and they had a man right in front of the crease, and it was intercepted by the goalie, Nick Lyons, who clears it on the other side of the field. It'll be Tigers' ball, but he got it out of the danger zone. Did a great job there. Talk about this Salpointe team as Gilbert brings it up with their goalie. Won the 09 championship. That was the only state championship that they have played in. In fact, if you're wondering if Gilbert's ever won one, and they came very close to beating one of the great teams, as this shot is missed almost at point-blank range by Chandler Boyer. Not sure what happened there, and that preserves a 1-1 tie. But Gilbert nearly beating one of the great teams, I think, in Arizona Lacrosse League history, as the shot taken is going to be saved by Nick Lyons. Tremendous job, and a 1-1 tie here in the first. Final score in that game was 11-10, and that was a season, I don't know if any of you remember Kyle Bronk. He's the only D1 player to come out of a Gilbert program, and he went to Albany, and they had a very physical team. And, of course, Chaparral was the Jeff Stroop era, the all-time leading scorer in league history, and almost won that game. Nick Lyons, another save. I'll tell you what, he's had a handful of really outstanding saves so far in this early stages of this first quarter in this game. 1-1 tie, Gilbert in the white, moving left to right. What a nice sidestep move there as he swims through the defense. Bryson Palmer, 5 goals, 7 assists, and he's got another one. He finds Gavin Christ in front of the crease, and he finds the back of the cage, and it's 2-1 here with 5:05 left to play here in the first quarter of play. Gilbert coming in. This is a team that moved up into the D1 ranks in 2010 and came 1 goal away from going to state that year. In the first year under Frankie Armenta in 2012, they lost to Brophy in the semifinals, and of course they did such a great job last year and looking very solid here to start the season. And they got a 2-1 lead here against Tucson powerhouse, the Salpointe Lancers. Going to get an infraction here. A little push in the back. It's going to cost them 30 seconds, and Gilbert will retain possession. Gilbert with a 2-1 lead. We're in the first quarter, approaching the 4-minute mark. Jeff Lowry with APN Video Sports. Our special thanks to Ben Jones and the Arizona Lacrosse League. And our first year of bringing you our Encore Gamecast, or our game of the week. And it was a pleasure talking to both head coaches prior to today's game and getting some information about these two quality teams. Here's a turnover, Salpointe, and the very speedy Shane Crowhart, and had a man right in front of the crease, and Teddy Sullivan couldn't get it to go. This is going to be a Gilbert possession as Sam O'Hare gets set to reset here. Alec Gastony, senior goalkeeper. And then Rustin Crawford. Crawford will do some of the face-offs. Intercepted Zach Herndon, who's already scored here and has an assist to his credit. And looking for a goal here, and he has got it. So Herndon scores for Salpointe. So Herndon, his second goal of the day, and it is now a score of 2-2. It ties things up here in quarter number 1, coming at the 3:43 mark. Now the face-off. as they battle, and this one's won by Jacob Hundley. So a good job by Jacob, scooping up the ball and getting it into the offensive half, and now we'll give way to Crownhart, Shane Crownhart, who's on that Stars national team. Back over to Jacob Hundley. Hundley with the left, looking for the crease, looking for the back of the cage. He's got it. And the lead is back up to 3-2 on a fine play at the 3:18 mark by Jacob Hundley. Unassisted goal puts the visiting Salpointe Lancers back on top. So we've had, as expected, a fine ground ball there. Luke Arnett for Gilbert. Gilbert in the white uniforms. Back and forth game here, 3-2. Salpointe got out to an early 1-0 lead, 9:28 mark. Herndon scoring. Arnett tied it at the 7:45 mark. And here's Morrow going bottom shelf. Bounce feeding that one into the cage. And we're tied again at 3 apiece with 2:55 left to go here in the first. So Herndon with 2 goals, Arnett with a goal, Palmer 2 assists, Christ for Gilbert a point and an assist. Hundley and Morrow have also scored, and oh, what a menacing hit that time. No flag on the play. Zach Herndon playing very physical, and now Reed Sinclair with an outstanding ground ball, but then he throws it away, and that's a turnover. Here's Jacob Hall. Good recovery by Hall. Good job short passing, paving the way for the Tigers, getting that ball into their offensive half. 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. We are tied at 3. On an Andre Morrow, his first goal of the contest for the Gilbert Tigers. Gilbert coming in, ranked 6th according to the Lax Power rankings. Salpointe ranked number 9. Opportunity time on offense for Gilbert. They could not convert. So Andre coming up empty-handed that time. Very talented attackman. Probably have not seen the last of his point total here tonight. He's got 1 goal, no assist, and a left-handed shot by Luke Arnett and denied by Nick Lyons, who's having an outstanding first quarter. Had about a half a dozen saves for Coach Kevin Krieger's team. First quarter action. Gilbert 3, the host team. Salpointe in the black. Likewise, 3-3 tie. Good look, and Morrow may have taken his eye off the ball. The pressure applied there by Pablo Cueva, one of the starters on defense for Salpointe. And now Nick Lyons will bring it up out of their defensive half. It's been a clean game so far. I think, 1 penalty in total so far in this contest, and a 3-3 tie between truly 2 quality teams. Salpointe, one of the top teams coming out of Tucson, and Gilbert, now under Frankie Arment in his 3rd year, making a statement and trying to become one of those elite teams. I know that's their goal. Frankie Arment, to the head coach of Gilbert, good friends with Brophy head coach Bo Pick, Coach Gray over at Chaparral. They do a lot of work in the offseason with adrenaline. This Gilbert team, by the way, and this is a team that will travel. They're beat up a little bit, as we were told. They were in Las Vegas, took on 2 outstanding teams. Even though they lost both of those games, it was definitely a good experience for them. Here's Andre going to work, has it stripped away from behind by Reed Sinclair of Salpointe, who races up across midfield and then promptly throws it away. Looks like the ball's going to stay in play, though. And that will be the end of quarter number 1, a 3-3 tie. 6th-ranked Gilbert 3-0, Salpointe 2-0. They're ranked 9th, and we'll be back with the second quarter on APN Sports in just a moment. Well, the Gilbert Tiger lacrosse program, they'll be heading after this game, actually this weekend. They'll be heading out to San Diego, and they are the two-time champions of the Jam by the Sea. I think it's out there near Del Mar, California. And they're hoping to three-peat in that, and I think it's really vital. Two areas of Arizona lacrosse as this ball is picked up by Crawford. Standing ground ball, and they get it into the offensive half in a 3-3 tie. Gilbert in the white uniforms. But I think one of the things that, and Coach Kevin and I were talking about it, the league has got to direct their attention to the young people in Arizona. We got to get a lacrosse stick into these kids' hands. As Salpointe on an outstanding clear, I think that's Cueva. Cueva doing an outstanding job, but we got to get the lacrosse stick into the hands of these kids when they're 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 years old and at the elementary school. That's when Arizona lacrosse is going to start taking off, when it becomes part of young people's culture out here. One of the problems that we have, obviously, and you made mention of that, is the fact that it's tough for these kids to play in the summertime because of the heat. And that's when most of the kids are off at that time. So it's a good time to hone in on your skills in this lacrosse game as Andre swims through the defense and went right over the right shoulder of the goalie, Nick Lyons, and scores for the second time. So they have a 4-3 lead. That is their first lead of the contest for Gilbert. Unassisted goal comes at the 10:47 mark. The other thing, I think you just got to, and I think part of our game of the week, our Encore Gamecast, a big reason why the league is doing this is to get more publicity, to let people know that Arizona Lacrosse League is here. If you want to play lacrosse, go to the website, find a team in your area. And it's going to get there. This game is too great not to continue to grow. As Herndon trying to go for the hat trick and hit it off the pipe. We've seen that happen a couple of times, and then coming in, scooping up that ground ball was Shane Kronhart. Swimming through the defense again. Taking the shot was the freshman Sullivan, only to be denied by Gastony. And I stand corrected, it's Shane Kronhart for Salpointe. Here's an opportunity. Left-handed shot by Dave Norris. And again denied by Gastony, and he's really paying dividends here as the Gilbert Tigers lead it by a score of 4-3. We're in the second quarter. This is their first lead of the contest. They trailed 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, tied it, and then took the lead on, virtually back-to-back goals by their senior attackman, Andre Morrow. And now Gilbert looking to maybe add on to that 1-point lead. But tenacious Salpointe defense. Good stick play on the far side. And I believe this is Sinclair again. And Sinclair is going to be knocked out of play. And this will turn it over to Gilbert. He stepped out of bounds.
5 yards! 5 yards!
Gilbert Tigers 3-0. We mentioned they've been in one state championship. That was all the way back in 2004. Lost by only 1 point to Chaparral, and they're going to score here again. 3 unanswered goals by Morrow and the Gilbert Tigers, and they lead it 5-3 with 8.5 minutes left to go here. And well, that was impressive. That was a powerful right-handed shot. So let's see if Salpointe can make the comeback here. And a good ground ball. Here they come. That was Seamus Thomas, 25. Now checking in is Crownhart, Shane Crownhart, spinning. Looked like he wanted to pull the trigger with a big left, but good defense, clogging up the center, and then they go on the elbow, and the shot is good. So Salpointe and Herndon putting on an exhibition here. That is his third of the day. That comes with 750. That's unassisted, and it's now 5-4. So that cuts the deficit to 5-4, and broken up on good defense. Sam Jones stepping up. Looked like a big-time scoring opportunity for the Lancers. Tigers with a 1-point lead. They have the ball. Boyer way out top. Sometimes a little tough to pick it up. Escobedo on defense out there. He was on the starting lineup in this game. Long stick defender and midfielder. Boyer, 21, running the offense here for the Gilbert Tigers. And a nice recovery on the loose ball. Shreve, Mitch Shreve with it. And these two benches making a lot of noise. And you know both these benches with these two head coaches, you know, they command that their guys are in the game from start to finish. Right-handed shot and deflected, and that'll be a save by Nick Lyons as it goes out of play. Restart belongs to Salpointe. Lyons. And from the far side, we apologize. One of the problems on some of these auxiliary fields is it's a little dark when they get to the other side of the field, and this is going to be an infraction, I believe, against the Gilbert Tigers. So Morrow will come off the field. There is Frankie Armenta, his third season, head coach of the Gilbert Tigers. So actually, after a timeout, there's no flag on that last play, disregard, and now Salpointe with a chance to equalize. They trail by one here in quarter number 2. About halfway through quarter number 2. We play 4 12-minute quarters. Here's the push on the goal, and again, Herndon trying to score. He has already put 3 into the cage of the Gilbert Tigers. Salpointe retains the possession. Norris, loose ball. Salpointe again. How many ground balls has Shane Crownhart picked up here today in this first half? He's looking to drive. He's looking to score, and now passes it away. Now out of X, Chase Torquist, one of their leading scorers. In fact, 16 goals between each, actually, Chase Torquist and the freshman Sullivan. So a big chunk of their scoring this year has come from those two players. Salpointe comes in with a record of 2-0. They're in the black uniforms. And now they throw it away, unforced error towards the midway stripe, and it was corralled by Salpointe, and they'll have another offensive opportunity. They beat Estrella Foothills in their first game 16-11, and then knocked off Glendale at home 14-13 in their last game. And Salpointe's next game, it's going to be a tough one. High noon at Brophy Sports Complex against Bo Pick. And look at Herndon pulling the trigger and finding the promised land here with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Herndon has 4 goals in this game. And this game is now tied at 5 apiece. What an evening for Mr. Zach Herndon of the Salpointe Lancers. So they face off, and Gilbert's going to win this one. This is Gavin Christ on the face-off win. Let's say that Gilbert has a slight advantage in face-off victories here tonight. And a ground ball scooped up there by Rustin Crawford. That's one of the things that he brings, good stick skills, especially in those unsettled balls. He's going to come off the field momentarily. Shreve running the offense up top as they work left of the crease. 5-5 tie with just under 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Spinning his way to the cage, and he's got the score, Bryson Palmer. Very impressive. He has 2 assists and now 1 goal. And Gilbert takes the lead again at 6-5. So we have had 4 lead changes in this game. So that comes at the 4:24 mark. Unassisted goal for Palmer. That's his first. Salpointe, can they get this face-off win as they try to pick up the hot potato? And no, it is going to be Luke Arnett. And then he lost it from behind. And Salpointe will control it. Good defense by the Lancers. We're going to get a timeout here. I don't know if any of the teams were in possession, but the officials will grant Salpointe the timeout as we've got 3 minutes and 51 seconds left to go. A 6-5 lead for the home team, the Gilbert Tigers, here on Arizona Lacrosse League's Encore Gamecast. On the restart, here's Salpointe. Crownhart over to Herndon. Herndon with 4 goals for Salpointe. He has scored 4 of their 5, and they trail by 1. Out of X. That's Tornquist, number 2. Good pass. Oh, an opportunity, a one-timer for Crownhart. Couldn't get it to go. Second effort, no good. And Gilbert will retain the possession here. They'll take possession, I should say, with their goalie, A.L.L, who has played the entire contest, as has Nick Lyons for Salpointe. Long pass down. This is going to be a goal. And I'll tell you, he shot it so fast. Chandler Bauer. And they lead 7-5 with 3 minutes left to go here in quarter number 2. And that all started with a great pass from the Gilbert goaltender, Alec Gastony. Through about 3/4 the length of the field and found wide open right out in front of the crease. The eventual scorer, and Chandler Bauer. Under 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. Encore Gamecast presented by the Arizona Lacrosse League. Remember the website, ArizonaLacrosseLeague.com. Get out and support your local lacrosse team. Gilbert owning their largest lead of the contest of 2 at 7-5. They led 5-3 at one other time, so it actually ties for their largest lead in this game. Salpointe has led 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2. We were tied at 3 apiece after 1 period of play. Gilbert in the white, 6th ranked. Salpointe in the black, 9th ranked. And this is going to be Salpointe ball. Excellent defense. Matthew Gerlach, 23. Seamus Thomas, 25. Converging on the ball handler and turning that ball over and getting it back into the hands of their offense. And here is Nick Lyons, the goalie, coming right down the middle. He's got an open man. Norris pulls the trigger and left it wide to the right. Salpointe on the restart, and they'll work it out of X. Tornquist. Lehigh College already knocking on his door. Here's a big left by David Norris. He bounced it up there, and it was deflected away by Alec Gastony, the outstanding goalkeeper for the Tigers. Again, Salpointe with another scoring opportunity, this time off one of the pipes. So they have had, 3 shots on this possession alone. And again, it's Alec Gastony. Well, he has just been tremendous over the last 30 or 40 seconds and during this Salpointe possession, which continues here. And here's the sophomore. Thought maybe he was going to dodge, take a shot at the net that time, but elected to pass it up. This possession continues with Biaggi. Thomas Biaggi. Out to X. Defensive assignment. Trevin Martin, one of the starters. And it's going to be picked up and a turnover for the Tigers and Jones. But then they turn it right back to the Lancers. Lancers attacking right of the crease. Here's the right hand. Here's the pass. They work it around. A good job, that tic-tac-toe passing, but then it was broken up. Maybe one too many passes that time. And it was picked up by Trevin Martin of the Tigers. And they have a 2-goal lead here in quarter number 2. Brandon Biggs, number 9. And Andre Morrow. Morrow has scored 3 goals, and they were all in concession. He's going to give it up, and boy, at point-blank range, Palmer is denied by Nick Lyons of the Salpointe Lancers. And we are coming up to the end of the first half. The shot no good, and our score. It is the Gilbert Tigers, the host team, 7. The Salpointe Lancers, 5. The second half coming up next here on APN Video Productions. Encore Gamecast presented to you by the Arizona Lacrosse League. APN Video Sports, our website, apnvideo.com. You get a look at Gavin Christ and Zach Herndon of Gilbert and Salpointe, respectively. Herndon, number 7, who has scored 4 goals in this game and then lays down the thunder and drops number 40 to the ground, and he's going to be flagged for it. So a 1-minute penalty against number 7. So a man-up situation here for the Gilbert Tigers, who took a 7-5 lead going into the locker room. Of course, there's no locker room here at Gilbert Christian, but in a halftime. And now in a man advantage, they have a chance here to go up by 3, which would be the largest lead of the game. They attack from the right side out of X, and it was picked up there by Gilbert, so they retain the possession. Well, Bryson Palmer, good job, and then he'll pull the trigger, and he'll miss a little wide to the left. And the score remains 7-5 in favor of Gilbert, who has the ball. They're in the white uniforms with the dark shorts and the gold trim. Straight away, and man, what a powerful right shot, Luke Arnett, and it's 8-5 Gilbert, their largest lead of the game. They have scored 3 straight. So that comes in the early stages of this contest, of this second half. Arnett, who scored Gilbert's first goal of the contest. And now enjoying a 3-point lead, the biggest lead that either team has had so far. Good defense out of X, forcing Gilbert to come back up top and restart their offense. Luke Arnett, the sophomore, gets around a defender, and as he's falling, comes up with the right hand. And really, you can't blame Escobedo there. That was good defense, but Arnett, who now has 3 goals of his own, and he has scored. And Gilbert now leads 9-5 as they add on to their largest lead. That comes at the 10:50 mark here in the third quarter. And let's get the call from our Arizona Lacrosse League official. Well, they're going to talk things over here. So a 9-5 lead for Gilbert, the host team. A victory here would put them at 4-0. And we mentioned their games coming up. Let's get the call from the official first.
We have simultaneous fouls. The first foul, number 7, black. Legal body check to the head, 2 minutes, non-releasable. White foul, 46/2 minutes. Both penalties are non-releasable since they're simultaneous fouls. They'll be locked in. We'll play 9-on-9 for 2 minutes.
Okay, so both teams are going to be playing even. Where Salpointe can't afford to have Herndon out of the game. He's already scored 4 goals here. Morrow and Arnett for Gilbert have accounted for 6 of the 9 goals on their side. Christ has a goal for Gilbert, including an assist. Hundley has 1 and Palmer has 1. So Salpointe playing 9-on-9, both teams with a man in a 2-minute non-releasable penalty situation here. Third quarter action. Gilbert in the white uniforms. They lead it by a score of 9-5. And a lot of work there as Crownhart is going to be denied on that shot by A.L.L, the Tigers goalkeeper. Another opportunity and a good pass and a good look to Tornquist. And another sensational play by A.L.L. Salpointe continues to hold possession. The freshman had it stripped away. That's some excellent defense. Sam Jones, we mentioned his name a couple of times. We're going to get, it looks to be a timeout here, and it is. So Frankie Armenta, the head coach in his 3rd year, good defense there. We mentioned Sam Jones getting the job done, working hard. You can see him breathing kind of heavy. Getting some encouragement from his teammate and former defenseman Trevin Martin. Jones did not start the game. There's Coach Keith Krieger with the Salpointe Lancers, and as we come back to live action. Boy, what a hit by Nick Lyons. You don't see the goalie do that very often, but then he comes back, and Morrow has scored for the 4th time. Gilbert has reeled off 5 unanswered goals and now lead 10-5. Ground ball. Braden Biggs gets it into the box, so we'll have to worry about a failure to advance. Here's Rustin working. Get it back over to Biggs out front. And a point-blank shot and a save by Nick Lyons. And Lyons quickly getting rid of the ball up to Hundley. Hundley with an outstanding clear, and now Salpointe with an opportunity. They need some points, and they can't afford to go up or go down anymore. That shot was on the outside of the net and scooped up by Gastony of the Tigers, who lead it 10-5 here, the Gilbert Tigers in the white uniforms. Now attacking Andre Morrow, 4 goals. So 3 players wearing the hat trick here. Morrow, Herndon for the Gilbert Tigers, and Herndon, for Salpointe. And a wraparound shot as he dodges to the crease, and Morrow has his 5th. What an unbelievable night for the senior attackman. And the lead is 6. And it's 11-6, Gilbert Tigers. So Morrow and Arnett each with the hat trick for Gilbert. Herndon has the hat trick with 4 goals for Salpointe. Third quarter action. Getting a look at Luke Arnett. Had a big game here today. Number 50, he had back-to-back goals literally to start the second half, and that's what's given them a lot of momentum. And he has struck again with the big left. It's 12-5 in favor of the Gilbert Tigers. And that will prompt a timeout by the Salpointe Lancers. Boy, I'm telling you, he has been impressive here tonight. That comes at the 7:38 mark. Luke Arnett, only a sophomore. That's his fourth goal. 7:38 left to go here, third quarter action. And you're watching our Encore Gamecast presented by the Arizona Lacrosse League. Gilbert Tigers with a 12-5 lead. Gilbert coming in undefeated at 3-0. They're ranked 6th by the Lax Power website rankings. Boy, a nice job there, Pablo Cueva for the Salpointe Lancers. And a sensational job with that long stick on an unsettled ball, Reed Sinclair. Sinclair's made some nice plays. He has definitely made some big-time plays in this game. And finally, Salpointe strikes David Norris. So that breaks a string of 7 straight. A 7-0 run by Gilbert, and now it's 12-6. So Norris gets his first goal. Comes with about just under 7 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. They battle at the far side of the field. And finally corralled by Sam Jones. He has it intercepted. This is Tornquist. Tornquist with the shot, and it was denied. And Gilbert looking to pick up this loose ground ball. Where they continue to battle. And if you're the coach of either one of these teams, you like the effort on both sides. Salpointe possession. Trailing 12-6, and they had an opportunity that time. Tornquist couldn't hold on to it, then gets hit from behind. It'll be Salpointe possession. Excellent defense by Trevin Martin. Just never really gave Tornquist a chance to breathe as he tried to keep the possession that time for Salpointe. So Chase passing. He finds the freshman Teddy Sullivan. Sullivan strikes, and it's back-to-back goals for the Salpointe Lancers. They kind of put themselves back into the ball game, down by 5 at 12-7. So Sullivan from Tornquist comes at the 6:35 mark here in quarter number 3. Jeff Lowry with you on the play-by-play. Arizona Lacrosse League action. Gilbert Christian School. Yeah, I believe we got an offsides going against Salpointe, so Gilbert will have possession. They reeled off 7 straight goals starting back at the 4:24 mark in the second quarter. And the big story here tonight has been the play of senior attackman Andre Morrow and the sophomore Luke Arnett for the Tigers, who have combined for 9 of the 12 goals for the Tigers. We're in the third quarter. Gilbert in the white leading 12-7. Good look. And it was broken up from behind. And I believe that was Seamus Thomas. We've mentioned his name a couple of times, one of the good defenders on this Salpointe team. And they know if they want to improve, they've got to really tighten it up on the defensive side. They've given up 12 points through 2.5 quarters here tonight. It certainly has not been a low-scoring affair by any stretch. That's a nice ground ball there by Crownhart, who has been extremely active, hasn't scored or gotten a lot of assists here tonight, but he has done a good job of clearing, keeping possession. I'll tell you, one of the other stars here tonight has been Alec Gastony for the Tigers. He's done a good job. Salpointe's been putting pressure on him all night long. And his Gilbert Tigers looking to go 4-0 to start the 2014 season, as this shot is good. Finding a lane, a seam was Rustin Crawford. And he ran a long ways and came up with the left hand, and Crawford breaks a 2-0 run by Salpointe, and the lead is back up to 6. Crawford scores with 4:21 left to go here in this third quarter of play. They battle at midfield, and here's it was a face-off win until Luke Arnett picked up the ground ball. He stripped it away. Excellent job. Rustin again, he had it stripped away out in front. Gilbert will restart as Daniel Arnett races out to the outside. Now trying to find Bryson Palmer, out in front of the crease. And Salpointe has it. Salpointe needs some points. Excellent job by Chase Tornquist. He's got it. Working left of the crease. Got his eyes on the prize, and that's the back of the net. And he spins, and then I don't know if that was good defense or if that ball just slipped right out of the face of Chase Tornquist. Nonetheless, they're going to rule it a shot, and Salpointe retains the possession. Now the freshman Sullivan. That was a good look. I'll tell you what, I can see why Coach Kevin was, starting this young man. I mean, it's rare you see a freshman starting, but, Teddy Sullivan, he's got the moves. And now on the other end, Gilbert has struck again. And Morrow has scored his 6th. The assist belongs to Daniel Arnett. Actually, they're going to give it. It says Crawford had the assist. So Crawford with the assist. He continues to play outstanding. Doesn't have big point total. The box score isn't going to indicate how good Crawford was here tonight. And it's 14-7. So the lead back up to 7, which is the largest, ties the largest lead. Tigers led the Lancers 12-5 and now 14-7. Herndon, who had that 2-minute penalty earlier this quarter. And we're going to get another infraction. So I believe that might be our first slashing penalty. And now Salpointe with a chance to cut into that 7-point lead. They're in the man advantage. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. And the shot was taken by Tornquist. And good hustle by Gilbert, and it is their possession. So everything seems to be going their way in this quarter. They have outscored after taking a 7-5 lead into halftime. Gilbert has outscored Salpointe here in the third quarter alone, 7-2. That hit the pipe. So a 14-7 lead here for the Gilbert Tigers. Gastiny out of his own half. We'll jog up towards the midline, and now we'll give it to Rustin. Rustin's had his play here tonight has been crucial. Offsides, Gilbert Tigers. Salpointe needs a couple of goals. Can they get it here? And a big left. No good. And Frankie Armenta wants possession. And he's not going to get it. He's a little upset. Salpointe resets. And taking a left hand. And Gastiny again on the denial in goal. Salpointe will restart behind the net out of X. Tornquist, the sophomore. And a shot again, and again a little wide. This time taken by Shane Crownhart. So now they'll work it from the left side of the crease. Now over to the right side, and this time it's Tornquist, who's got a quick, accurate shot, and he has his first goal of the evening. Now, he's done a lot more than just score, but, well, I'll tell you, that was a goal that they really needed. 1:09 left to play here in the third quarter. This has been a long quarter. I think they must have added time. 14-8 is the score. And Salpointe trying to score again. 15 feet out, and Gaston, I mean, he just made it look easy on that save. It was a good-looking shot.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so both teams full strength. Salpointe's got it. You're looking at Matthew Gerlach, midfielder, starting midfielder. Inside a minute left to play. Salpointe trailing by 6. 14-8, looking for a goal here. They got it. An outstanding give as Gerlach gets the assist from, or actually gets the goal and an assist from Sullivan. So Gerlach scores, and that cuts it to 14-9 with 38 seconds left to go here in quarter number 2. Inside of 30 seconds. Mitch Shreve. Stolen away. Outstanding play by Salpointe at midfield, but then will they turn it back over? Tornquist saves the day. Escobedo had the initial steal and ground ball, and now Tornquist. Shot is good, and 3 unanswered goals by Salpointe. And this time, Tornquist finds Norris. So 3 straight goals after the Gilbert Tigers went up by 7 at 14-7. Now it's 14-10. Yeah, they made an adjustment on the clock. Now we're down to the last 30 seconds of this third quarter. I think they must have had a little trouble with that clock because it just seems like this has been a very long third quarter. Of course, this game was delayed as we wind down to the final 8 seconds. And the shot is good. And Gilbert has scored again. And what a night for Rustin Crawford. So Crawford scores with just seconds to go here in the third quarter, and it's 15-10. Salpointe scored 3 straight goals, but Gilbert gets a goal from Crawford. Crawford is second goal of the evening, and we are heading to the fourth quarter of play. 15-10 in favor of the Gilbert Tigers. We got what should be an exciting fourth coming up next. Jeff Lowry back here, Gilbert Christian High School. Actually, we're at the K through 8 school. And we're getting set to kick off quarter number 4. The Tigers in the white lead it 15-10. It's been an exciting game. Ground ball. Here's Andre. Here is pass, and it's going to be broken up on some sensational Salpointe Lancer defense, and now wanting to go coast to coast, the defense. Boy, good ball there by Hundley, but did not force the issue, but then throws it away. And probably the star of the game so far has been Andre Morrow. Morrow with 6 goals here tonight, but Gilbert's going to turn it over. So here in the fourth quarter, a 5-point deficit for the visiting Lancers out of Tucson, Arizona. Well, something had to give tonight. Both teams coming in undefeated. Gilbert should have possession now. Both teams playing with a lot of intensity, and that, of course, comes from the two coaches that have done a sensational job. And, of course, congratulations. Last year, Frankie Armenta was pretty much the undisputed coach of the year after leading his team into the playoffs 2 years in a row. That shot no good. His career record coming in Armenta of Gilbert. As Salpointe will take possession here. He's about 26-9. I mean, he's done an extremely he's done an outstanding job over here at Gilbert. Sullivan and a big right from way up top. Getting a look at Dave Norris. Good footwork. And now a big shot. And Herndon, who had 4 goals in the first half. In fact, scored his 4th goal at the 5:30 mark in the second quarter, and he hasn't seen one since. And we're going to get an infraction here against the Gilbert Tigers as Tornquist got hit to the ground pretty hard that time by Jacob Hall. I think this will be a 32nd infraction. So a man up for Salpointe. If they're going to make a comeback, they got to start now. Because you got to figure this Gilbert team isn't done at 14 goals. Herndon, tough angle, save Gastony. And Gilbert, well, I'm telling you, Gastony just hustles, I mean, every time. He is, I would imagine he has done that probably 3 times here tonight, where Salpointe has taken the shot and he has outraced the closest to the ball before it went out of bounds, and I bet he's done it at least 3 times here tonight. And all that is, I mean, you don't need skill for that. That's just a matter of personal pride and hustle and determination, and Gastony knows that if this Gilbert team, if they're going to hang with the top dogs, is we got a whistle before the shot. Shot was taken by Paul Griffin, midfielder for the Salpointe Lancers. And Salpointe will try to make something out of this possession. Well, they lose it. Kicked around. Who wants it? And the hot potato wound up with Salpointe. Thomas has it stripped away, and boy, Luke Arnett. Big game here tonight. What'd I say? 4 goals for Arnett. And he's got it over on the far side. Gilbert Tigers pushing the envelope and out of X, and scoring is Bryson Palmer, making it 16-10. And credit the assist to Daniel Arnett. So Palmer gets the goal. He's been pretty balanced this year, coming in with 5 goals, 6 assists. Palmer, that is, number 7 of the Gilbert Tigers, and they lead by 6. Their largest lead has been 7, led 12-5 and 14-7, and both those scores came in the third quarter. Now Rustin Crawford. Crawford being challenged, lost his footing, loses the ball, and Salpointe comes up with a ground ball. Okay, here's Matt Gerlach. Gerlach spins, gets it into the offensive half. They'll work it around. Good job. Save again, Gastony off the attempt by Chase Tornquist. Let's see, is this Gilbert? Yeah, this will be Gilbert's possession. Jacob Hall, and very wisely getting it over to Alec Gastony. Well, the key here was that 7-0 run by Gilbert that started in the late stages of quarter number 2, but the way they came out, they scored the first 5 goals of the second half. And so far, they really haven't looked back. Salpointe scored 3 in a row to get it back to within a 14-10 count. On the restart for the Gilbert Tigers is going to be Daniel Arnett. Andre Morrow of the Tigers with 6 goals. Arnett with 4 for the Tigers. Herndon with 4 for Salpointe. Those are your leading scorers in the game. Ground ball pickup. Another nice job by Reed Sinclair. Or nope, check that, number 18. That's Pablo Cueva. Long stick defender. He's looking for a short stick attackman to give the ball up to, and finally found David Norris, one of the 3 starting attackmen here today. $16-10 in favor of the Tigers. Spinning and going to the bottom shelf, and finding the promised land is Jacob Hundley. So Hundley scores his second of the day, and it is now 16-11 Gilbert, playing on their home turf here. Good crowd on hand. Again, a reminder, our next Encore Gamecast will be a game that will be played on Thursday, though it will appear on our website, apnvideo.com, on Friday, and hopefully the league website shortly thereafter. Good, solid defense. Salpointe still working hard, and here's Gerlach. And the shot, and Gastony again, denying David Norris. And preserving a Gilbert 5-point lead. We're going to get a timeout. We're halfway through the 4th quarter of play, 16-11. In favor of the Gilbert Tigers as you look at the Salpointe Lancers. Well, unless they can erase a 5-point deficit, as Frankie Armenta not feeling too good with a 5-point lead here. And now Rustin Crawford trying to create. He's had a couple of goals. I think he's had 1 assist here tonight, if I'm not mistaken. And Salpointe's going to get the ball. And now Andre strikes again. He's looking for his 7th goal of the contest. He's putting together a big, big night here. I don't know if he... we'll have to check to see if he's had a couple of assists in the game. Salpointe will try to get it out of their own half here. Nice lead to Jacob Hundley from Nick Lyons, the goalie. And they had the numbers, and now the shot, a big left, and Norris has scored. And all of a sudden now they're within striking distance of 4. It's 16-12. Comes at the 5:02 mark here in the 4th period. So Norris on the assist from Tornquist. Fourth quarter action. So after the Palmer goal that made it 16-10, of course we mentioned the largest lead of the evening for Gilbert has been 7. 2 unanswered goals by Salpointe has cut it to a 4-point deficit. They still got a big uphill climb to even think about even tying this game. But they got to take advantage of every situation. Herndon got the ground ball, but then had it stripped away on his opposite number in Bryson Palmer. Andre Morrow with 6 goals. Thought he was going to get the support pass back, but instead it goes to Jackson O'Hare. And the Tigers have done it again, and now they're up 17-12. Jackson O'Hare, outstanding football player for the Perry Pumas. Both Jackson and Sam O'Hare. Sam is offensive lineman over there. And so Jackson O'Hare comes up with a big goal here for the Gilbert Tigers. So now 17-12. Gilbert leads by 5. And they turn it over here. Hartman eventually corrals it, gets it into the offensive half, and then he throws it away. Seen some quite a few unforced errors in this game by Gilbert, and who knows, that might be the big difference in this game. Morrow across the halfway line gets it into the box. Broken up. Salpointe defense pretty good in that situation. They're going to get the ground ball here. Great job there by Thomas. But then he has it stripped away and then gets it right back. Then tries to kick it away. Salpointe, they need about 3 or 4 quick goals here. We're running out of time. If you're a Salpointe Lancer fan, Gilbert trailed early. It was down 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. Game was tied at 5 apiece, but since then it's been pretty much all Gilbert. They have outscored them 12-7 since taking their first lead. Actually, have been their second lead of the game at 6-5. As we wind down, well, it's the 4th game for the Gilbert Tigers in state. This is the 3rd game in state for Salpointe. Shot, score, Gilbert Tigers. And one of the players of the game, Luke Arnett, his 5th of the night. So with a couple of minutes left to go, 18-12. You got the 2-minute warning there, and we're going to get illegal motion against the Lancers. So let's see what Rustin Crawford can do with this possession. So a 6-point lead, 18-12. And now under 2 minutes, there is a box out there, and you can see the line close to Morrow. And, of course, the ball cannot come out of the box inside of 2 minutes or it's a turnover, unless it's a shot. 6 goals for number 10 here tonight. And I think when you go back to that second quarter and you talk about some of the keys of the game, he had 3 unanswered goals. Starting at the 2:55 mark in the first, he had 3 unanswered goals, and that gave him a 5-3 lead. At the time, they were down 3-2. That extended the lead to 5-3, but that's when Gilbert just really started to take over this game. And right now they lead by 6, and they're going to get the ball right back on another unforced turnover by the Salpointe Lancers. And that's going to be one of the things that Coach Krieger's team's going to have to work on. We're inside of a minute. Boy, Sinclair has had a lot of ground balls here tonight and some pretty good clears. In a losing cause for the Lancers, they're going to have a long bus trip back to the old Pueblo, Tucson, Arizona. Looking to try to make it a little closer here. Here's a big left by Jacob Hundley, and he left it wide left. I'll tell you, Gastony, I thought had a pretty good game here tonight for his Gilbert Tigers. He's made a lot of, some quality saves. Some difficult saves here tonight. I know his team's given up 12 points, but and the lead pass up ahead to Palmer. He will run out the clock. The Gilbert Tigers, 18-12 victors here tonight over Salpointe as they go to 4-0. What a night for the sophomore Luke Arnett and Andre Morrow, 6 points. Salpointe falls to 2-1. This has been a presentation of the Arizona Lacrosse League and APN Video Sports. For more, go to the website at ArizonaLacrosseLeague.com. So for our entire crew, this is Jeff Lowry saying good night from Gilbert, Arizona. And again, the Tigers defeat Salpointe 18-12.